So today we're visiting Sunset Beach Club, a hotel and apartment complex right in the heart of Benalmadena's coastal line, between Arroyo de la Miel Beach and Torre Quebrada. And I'll be meeting Miguel de Marcos, its assistant manager. Sunset Beach Club is a four-star holiday resort located on the seafront of Benalmadena. This year, due to the coronavirus crisis, the hotel is suffering the consequences of the traveling restrictions, and its rooms, usually full of tourists coming in and out, are mostly free. Hard times for the hotel industry, and for places like this where normally there is activity throughout all the year. In summer, there is non-stop entertainment and activities for all ages, whereas spring and autumn are popular dates for golfers, young families, and couples making the most of our weather. During the winter months, from November to March, most activities are aimed at people over 50s, with power walking, darts, aerobic, petanca, or even cookery lessons. So we are here at Panorama Bar. We are with our social distances, so we can take our mask off. And I'll be speaking with Miguel de Marcos, Sunset Beach Assistant Manager. How are you, Miguel?
Hola, Antonio. Thank you for having us.
Nah, no problem. It's my pleasure, and thank you for giving us this time to get to know you a bit better. Well, Miguel, let's get right into the topic and tell us, what are we?
We are at Sunset Beach Club. It's a hotel that has been open for over 30 years in Benalmadena. And we've been hosting people in their holidays from summer to winter for over 30 years now.
Mm-hmm. 30 years is crazy, no? How long? You're part of Benalmadena already, no? We could say.
We are. We were one of the original hotels from the 80s, and we used to be in the outskirts of Benalmadena, and now we are within Benalmadena city limits. Mm-hmm. So it's changed quite a bit.
So I guess in 30 years it must have changed a lot, no? If I'm not wrong, it started more like an apartment time sharing?
Yes, we started like a timeshare resort, but we were also operating a hotel within it. And now timeshare is coming out of fashion, mm-hmm. and we are more of a hotel now.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, what kind of clients do you usually host?
Internationals, mm-hmm. because we are so close to the airport now. Most of our guests are from overseas.
Mm-hmm. And I guess a lot of UK visitors? Or?
A lot of UK, a lot of Irish. We get Scandinavians as well, mm-hmm. Canadians in winter, mm-hmm. and people from all over Europe.
Mm-hmm. So how would you describe your touristic offer?
Well, we are like a hotel. We are a four-star hotel, but our accommodation units are apartments ranging from studios to 3 bedrooms. So we can cater for everyone from the individual traveler to the big family, the family group, and we do have animation, and we have a discotheque with daily shows in summer. We have the Panorama Bar with our famous happy hour and the live sports, and we are right in front of the sea, so we have great views, mm-hmm. and people really enjoy them.
What are the attractives that the customers usually prefer?
Well, they love that we are a little bit outside the city because it's quieter, and we have a taxi rank in front of the hotel, so they can just jump into a taxi, mm-hmm. or stroll down to Puerto Marina. We are surrounded by bars and restaurants, a couple of supermarkets, and we have an uninterrupted view of the Mediterranean Sea. Mm-hmm. So we are not like a second or third line hotel with other buildings in front of us. You will see it later when you see the images. It's just the med everywhere.
So we could say you have almost everything in here, no? A visitor can find anything.
Yes.
We're living quite an atypical year with the coronavirus crisis. How has it changed your plans, all this situation?
Well, 2020 was going to be a great year, and unfortunately it hasn't been, and We had to close for 3 months. We were one of the first hotels in Spain to reopen, but we haven't had a very high occupancy. People just weren't getting here.
How has it been the summer season?
Quiet. It's been very quiet. Our highest occupancy has been 37% over the weekends in August. Apart from that, it has been very quiet.
Would you say you've done enough to save the season, or to
Well,
hold the
we've
projections?
done all the right things. We produced the protocols so that our guests could have a safe holiday while they were staying with us. We trained the staff. We worked with our partners to make sure that we were as COVID safe as possible, and we introduced offers. We took down the minimum stay restrictions so that people could stay as long as they needed to or they wanted to, but they didn't feel safe enough to be able to travel.
So, what kind of protocols or measures have you taken against COVID?
We're in Andalusia, so our junta, the regional government, produced a normativa, a set of regulations on how to cater for hotel guests, and we just apply them. And we have our own internal protocols that we have created with our labor advisor to protect our staff and the guests. And we recently also got the Safe Tourism stamp from the Junta de Andalucía. So we are doing everything that needs to be done.
What do you think about this measure, about the Safe Tourism stamp?
I think it's great. You know, any business in Andalucía can get it, and we are showing that we can do it, that people can come here and they can feel safe.
Have you had to install any type of technology?
Luckily for us, we have been working on our technology over the last 3 years, and we had all the technologies that we needed to provide a safe holiday. So people could pre-check in, they could do everything online if they wanted, and they could pay in advance if required, if they didn't want to spend that extra time in reception. So we had everything that other people were doing or were trying to do, we had it in place.
What is the goal for next year?
Well, the goal for next year is to try to host as many guests possible, and make them feel welcome and safe. So we're working towards that to have a holiday experience within the context of Corona, and they can have a good time. And we've learned a lot of lessons this summer of what people wanted to do and not wanted to do, what they felt safe with. So we will produce a summer program for next year based on this year's experience.
Tell us a little bit about the team in the office.
Well, our team has been, some staff members have been here since the hotel opened, so we're talking about over 30 years. But we do have a very nice mix of older staff that everyone knows and they recognize when they come back, and they are recognized by our staff, with a mixture of new people that have been substituting the staff that has retired. So we have a really nice mixture of people from Benalmadena and the surrounding cities that work here, and they are all full-time. They work all year round, most of them. So we have a pretty big team because we are very busy.
On average, how many people do you usually? I guess it changes during the seasons,
Yeah,
but on average, how
we
many?
can go up from nearly 240 people in summer down to 150 and 60 in winter.
And what kind of profiles you can find on?
Well, we have a very nice mix of males and females. We have international citizens, we have Irish, we have people from Eastern Europe working with us, we have British people, we have Spanish people. We have a little bit of everything. We need people that speak languages.
Yeah.
We have many international clients. We even have Finnish people working.
So you have almost from everywhere, no?
Nearly. we have Belgium, Dutch, from all over Spain as well,
So that's a nice mixture.
and a nice mixture.
So you are one of the few hotels that remains open for winter season, we'll call it that way. What are you expecting about this for this winter season?
Not a lot, but our parent company wants to keep us open because it's much easier to close down than to reopen, and you never know when it's the right time to reopen. We also have, our timeshare guests to care for, because they have their properties here and they can come whenever they want. So we're open. We have minimum services to cater for whoever wants to come.
So, leaving apart this strange year, usually how is a winter season here?
It's a lot of fun because we get a lot of people who are semi-retired or retired, and they're here to enjoy, and they are on long stays. So we get to know most of them, and they group together for our activities with the animation team, or they create their little groups. They play cards sometimes. So they're looking for spaces where they can sit down and play cards in the evenings. They all come down to the happy hour, or they go down to the restaurant to have a dinner with live music, or they use our leisure desk to get to know the area and buy tickets or excursions.
We're right now at the Panorama Bar. We're getting to know more of this space. But tell us a little bit about other spaces that you have inside.
Well,
huge complex.
Yeah, it is huge. We do have a supermarket inside. Right now it's not open, but normally it is. And we do have a bakery, and we have fresh products, we have fresh fruit, we have cold drinks. Anything that you need during your holiday, you can find there. We open every day. Normally we will have the Moonlight Bar open with our daily shows. We will have the Animation Club open. In summer we also have two outdoor bars, Salitos Bar for cocktails, and Luna Beach, which is it is our beach club. We do host weddings, communions, anniversaries. So we have banqueting rooms. We do have the pool bar and the restaurant, the Oasis restaurant, downstairs.
You also represent Benalmadena's hoteliers on AECOS. I guess this must be quite an honor, but also great responsibility, doesn't it?
Yes, Benalmadena is one of the great resorts in the Costa del Sol. We do have a lot of beds, and in between Torremolinos and Benalmadena we have a big chunk of the hotel beds in offer on the Costa del Sol. But there is two more representatives from Benalmadena in AECOS, in the Hotel Association. So Benalmadena is well represented. How
did you end up there?
Well, I suppose it's part of the job. I've been here 15 years, and Sunset is one of the biggest hotels in the area, so we want our voice heard.
Which are AECOS goals?
Well, AECOS represents a big percentage of the hotels in Costa del Sol, and our goals is to get the industry to achieve its goals especially with the public entities, the local or regional governments, to further the tourism industry. Because whatever is good for the hotels is also good for the rest of the tourism industry.
How is the association facing next year?
Well, this time it's put AECOS at its maximum capacity, because we are trying to deal with all the issues that we're having, and it's not only AECOS, because AECOS only represents Costa del Sol, but through AECOS we are part of the Association of Hotels of Andalusia, and through that one we're also part of the National Hotel Association of Spain, that speaks directly with the government regarding the regulations and the help that the hotel industry requires in this crisis. So, it's great to be part of AECOS, but we're being pushed to do our best for our associates because it is the worst crisis that we've seen.
It is really important, the paper that ICOS and other hoteliers association have right now, as a communication line.
Yeah, especially with the regionals and the national government.
So being an assistant manager here at Sunset and a representative at ICOS, how do you think we should promote Benalmadena?
Well, Benalmadena is very well known. It's a touristic destination since the 60s. What Benalmadena needs to reflect is that it is safe. And I think we've done it this year because we had a lot of, even if they were day visitors, but we had, our beaches were at capacity every weekend, and people were staying in hotels, they were staying in private apartments. We just have to continue it and keep on investing in the infrastructure and helping the local businesses. The town hall is doing that, helping the local businesses to stay afloat, so that when people come back next year, there is a tourism industry and there is businesses to cater for them.
You just spoke about town hall's efforts to promote the city. What did you thought about the family adventure campaign?
It was a great idea. It was very helpful for the theme parks in the area. The hotels didn't really get a lot from it because obviously people that were coming to these theme parks were from the area and didn't need to stay in a hotel. But it brought people back into Benalmadena, so whoever came to experience Benalmadena, they saw,
the hotels, our industry.
And that there was people around and it wasn't like a ghost town.
I guess it is a moment to get really original with all of these ideas and campaigns.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
So thank you very much, Miguel. We're going to take a small break right now. I'm going to look around and see if I can talk with someone else. And later on, I'll join you together out there with the sea on the background. So we've been speaking with Miguel de Marcos, and now taking a walk around Sunset Beach Club. I just running with Mark Wardell, its general manager. Hello, Mark. How are you?
Good afternoon. How are you?
Thank you very much. So we're complying with the social distances. We can take our mask off right now.
It's a pleasure.
And let's go right into topic, Mark.
Okay.
So tell us, how did you end up in Sunset Beach Club? When and how did you start working here?
It was a degree of luck and circumstances. I'd been on the coast since 1987, always working in the leisure industry. I did some work with this hotel, probably 20 years ago, 25 years ago, some small consultancy work, and they were looking for a general manager, and they gave me a telephone call. And that was in 2004. So I joined them in 2004, so I've been with them 16 years now.
How has it changed since your first day here till today?
It's changed enormously. In many facets. We were very lucky to have a very good parent company in FBD Property and Leisure, and there was a lot of investment in the first 3 or 4 years. So we transformed the hotel really from something that was sort of 4-star into a 4-star plus. And we've also changed in terms of the product. It's much more comfortable now. It's a little bit more luxurious. The food is excellent. The entertainment is first class through our Moonlight showrooms. And really the biggest change probably is the staff. We've got a team now that have been sort of molded. A lot of them have been here for much longer than me, but some new people as well, and it's formed into just a really good team of people, Yeah.
You mentioned your parent company. How is working with a parent company, a super company over you? I guess it gives you an umbrella protection.
Yeah, it's not a conglomerate. It's a respectable PLC in Ireland, basically made up of the Irish farming community. It's an investment company, and it has investments. And one section is FBD hotels and resorts. So we have 3 hotels back in Ireland, very nice hotels, and we also have we also own La Cala Golf and Country Club here in La Cala, which is a hotel and 3 golf courses, one of the largest in Spain. So it's big enough to have the comfort of a strong background, but small enough to have to feel a part of it as a family. Yeah.
To have your autonomy a bit.
Yeah, with a lot of autonomy. Every hotel is very distinct and different, but we have the luxury of having a good central office back in Dublin, and a lot of contact with that. So it's certainly at the moment it's a great help, particularly in the current circumstances.
So, as a general manager, how would you explain to someone that doesn't know the title itself or the responsibility that implies? How would you explain what do you do on your day-to-day? Which tasks do you handle?
There are loads of different types of general managers. Personally, I don't like to be at my desk more than I have to be. I've got some excellent administration behind me, people, so they do that work better than me. I like to be out on the floor. I like to meet the clients. I'm there to motivate the staff and to direct the senior team. The word general is the very most important phrase, really. I have a love of food. I love the food and beverage. And I really like meeting my clients, and we have a lot of clients who come back year on, sometimes 2 or 3 times a year. So that's a really nice part as well. Very different for a city hotel. It's very much a resort hotel where people come on a regular basis.
That's one point that I wanted to touch, and I guess here it's really important to get to know your customers, people that may be coming each year with the family to a property. So you develop that personal, close relation, no? Yeah,
you do. We are really particular in terms of the amount of regular customers we get. We have a large Irish contingency. Many of them come 2 or 3 times a year, and many of them who come here now with their children came here 25 years ago as children, which is extraordinary, and they come back, But also we have a lot of Canadians who come in March, April, and we see the same faces every year. And they know which apartments they want, and our staff all know them by name. So there is that special feel of coming home.
They're part of the family, right?
Yeah, well, also we have the Panorama Bar, which is very much the sort of the hub, the social centre of the business, and people meet every night. And it's got a particularly very special atmosphere. This property, that all the properties I've ever worked in.
What would you say are Sunset strengths?
The strength is, well, for a start, we are an apart hotel, so you're not sitting in a 15 square meter room at the end of your bed thinking what you're going to do next. You have a kitchen, you have your bathroom, you have a sitting room. So that really creates a different type of holiday experience, aside from the fact you can come with your children and still enjoy one room, That's one special aspect, and it goes right through, Yeah.
So Mark, if I have to make a bet, I would say you are not from Benalmadena, but I gotta ask, are you from Benalmadena?
No, I'm from Dublin originally. It's an Irish company. By coincidence, I'm working for an Irish company. I come from Dublin originally, and I actually live up the coast near Marbella.
So how long have you been here? How did you end up?
I've been here since '87, and I was in Barcelona for a couple of years before that. And I've worked all my life on the continent. I worked for a couple of years in Ireland. I think Miguel worked longer in Ireland than I have.
So, what would you say conquered your heart from here, from Malaga? What made you stay?
Malaga, you have to say the Costa del Sol.
Costa del Sol.
It is totally unique. I mean, I've been here for more than half my life now. I've born and raised 2 children here. And there was nowhere else in the world that I'd like to be, I love my home country, like every Irishman, we have it in here. But, I can't take the weather for a start, And I love the Andalusians. I think they have an affinity, a little bit like the Irish. They work hard, but they also love leisure. They love their food. And, it ticks a lot of boxes that you can't find anywhere else in Europe, in my view, or even further afield. Yeah.
And which visits or which places would you recommend to visit to a tourist, to a person that comes here to Benalmadena?
Depends on the time of year, obviously. in the height of the summer, they all like to go to the aqua parks. They like to go to Tivoli World. Personally, I love the Pueblo. I think it's got a great charm, and it is more originally what is Spain, you know, even though it's come into the 21st century, and it has good restaurants, etc. Paloma Park, I think, is very nice. There's Tivoli is not my cup of tea, but lots of people love it, you know.
It's representative.
It's representative, yeah. And to be honest, of all the coastal towns here, I think it has more on offer than any other town. Taormina, Fuengirola, Marbella. There's a lot more going on here, you know, for all types of family, you know. Yeah.
So Mark, thank you very much for putting this time aside for us.
No, it's all pleasure.
You're a busy man, you have a lot to do,
Pleasure.
so I'll leave you.
Well, I look forward to hopefully, you know, all the Benalmadena residents out there. Hopefully they'll come and see us sometimes. We love to have people come in off the street, try the Luna Beach, Salitos. You know, all our products here are open to everyone, not just the hotel guests.
I'm pretty sure they will come at least to try the panorama bar.
The happy hour, yeah.
Happy hour. So I'm back with Miguel de Marcos, and now we came here to this small terrace. We don't have the best weather, but I wanted to get this view because I still think it is an amazing view. So we are again with social distances, so we can take our mask off. So hello again, Miguel.
Hello.
So now we're gonna go to a more personal part of the interview. Tell me, how long have you been living here in Benalmadena?
14 years now.
14 years, quite a long time. More or less the same time you've been here at Sunset,
Exactly,
if I'm
yeah.
not wrong.
Exactly.
So tell me, what brought you here? Sunset Beach brought you here?
Sunset Beach brought me here.
How did that happen?
Well, I got a job offer from Mark, who you have met, and I started working here. I'm originally from Marbella, so I came over from Marbella and I have been here since.
So how has it been, these 14 years here, personally for you?
Great. I came here single and now I'm married. I have 2 children, I have a mortgage and a new car, so it's been great.
A whole life, no?
A whole life.
What would you say is your first memory or a special moment that you have on the municipality?
My wedding. My wedding, we got married in Benalmadena, and she's from Austria, my wife.
Oh.
So her family came over and they had a holiday apart from the wedding.
So was she a client of the Sunset? No,
No, she wasn't.
So tell us a little bit about that wedding. How was it getting married in Benalmadena?
It's great because Benalmadena has a lot to offer, and apart from hotels where you can get married, you can enjoy the beach, or you can enjoy the theme parks, or the culture, or the gastronomy, or the weather. Unfortunately not today, but people can do a lot of things.
So you said you also have 2 children. Tell us a bit more about your family.
Well, my wife is from Austria, from Tyrol, and we have 2 children, 2 boys, Carlos and Sebastian, and they go to the British College here in Benalmadena.
Oh, so they're promising they will be watching our show in English.
Exactly,
No? And
they will.
Everything.
They will.
Which would you say is your favorite spot in Benalmadena? This place that you just go to relax and disconnect?
La Cala restaurant, which is right next door to us. It's a beautiful spot. They have a lovely ficus tree that you can sit under, and they do really good fish and rice dishes if you like paella.
Since you said La Cala, which is your favorite dish or plate there?
Arroz caldoso.
It's classic, Malaga classic.
A classic.
Which visit would you recommend to our visitors?
I always recommend Puerto Marina. People really enjoy it, and the unknown, which is Benalmadena Pueblo. Many people don't know about it, and it's a beautiful village. You can go and visit the Castillo de Colomares and see the old church and walk around and have a tapas or eat dinner or lunch in the restaurant. So it's a really good spot.
So thank you very much for putting this time to us, and together we managed to help people to know a bit more about Benalmadena and Sunset Beach Club.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miguel.